Good afternoon, this is RFC Monkey with another flight report from War Thunder, played on Xbox One. This time I'm exploring the map, the Hürtgen Second Battle map, which I have discovered is fantastic. I prefer the maps that are about 8 by 8, that is large enough for a long fly out and a long approach to the field, giving you plenty of time to climb, but this map has a lot of great things going on. Now, you can see, if you go back a second, but if you see that there are actually 3 entry points for this map, you can air start like I've done just there, or on the opening screen, you can actually select either Airfield 1 or Airfield 2, and I really like that choice. Typically, I prefer to take off rather than to start in the air, but I think if you're flying a bomber, having an air start gives you a little bit of an advantage, or at least catches you back up and puts you on even ground with everybody else. So this is a great map for that. Now, it's a very large map, and it has a lot of really cool features. The map itself looks like the battle took place sometime in the fall, and so you'll see a lot of trees with a very brown or a reddish brown cover, and the grass appears not green but also a very kind of a dead grass or earth colored ground. The map is characterized by quite a few roads, and the roads go to also some really nice places. You can follow them to different cities. There are lots of hills, and in the bottom and the low areas there are typically rivers and or streams that you can follow. In fact, the center of the map seems to be mostly an area that has 2 or 3 streams coming together, and it's around this area that we see the units, the ground units from both sides. Even off on the left part of the map up ahead of me, there's even what appears to be kind of a crater lake sitting on the top of a hill, a very large open lake. So there's enough features to keep you interested in the map, and there's enough where you actually could dive down or fly low or have a little bit of a different perspective on what's going on in the field. So I really enjoy this map quite a lot. There's a long approach. Now I'm actually doing a few mistakes in this game. I'm flying, first of all, kind of low. I'm not climbing as I go in, so I'm sticking kind of low as more ability to let you guys see what the map looks like, even though I am engaging in a battle. If you are new to my channel, this is another one of those online custom battles where I like to play in sim mode. Xbox One currently does not have a sim mode available to the players. Apparently there's some sort of agreement with PlayStation 4 that until PlayStation 4 opens up the game to cross-play, for some reason Xbox is not going to be allowed to have sim battles. And so what I do instead is I go to custom battles, and I set up the custom battles with sim settings. So you can see, first of all, that we are locked to cockpit. That is, you cannot do external or third-person view. I think this also tends to cut down on the people who are the mouse and keyboard kind of players, but this allows you to use mostly joystick style. The second thing that the custom battles does, or at least the sim battles that I use, is that I don't have any enemies or friends marked. So you have to be able to spot the planes like we see here, and then identify them either based upon their flight characteristics or their silhouette. Figure out whether they are good guys or bad guys. There are no lead markers, and so you have to use your own judge for shooting, and you can see right there I did a really crappy job. But here I am coming up on the plane, flying low, and you see this guy. This is a Spitfire. You see him climb really, really quickly, in fact, way faster than I can climb. Now, we were both starting at low altitude, and you can see that he somehow climbed up really, really high and managed to pull a loop, even though he was going at a much slower speed than I was. And again, there he goes to fly upside down, and I've overshot him. He doubles back behind me. Now, I suspect that there's something strange going on. In the settings, you can see there is a setting that is called Disable Arcade Boost, and in the setting the flying I've flown up till now, I had that Disable Arcade Boost set to yes, because I did not want people to use Arcade Boost. However, in Birds of Steel, there was an error in which the Disable Arcade Boost was listed as opposite. So this little segment here, I've got it set to Disable Arcade Boost No. That is, if this is Birds of Steel style settings, then enemy planes should fly without the Arcade Boost. In this particular setting, you can see, again, with that Disable Arcade Boost set to No, this enemy plane does seem to fly a little bit more rationally and reasonably. And to show you that I'm not an awful player anyway, I can actually manage to get a few hits on him and bring this guy down. If we can, there we go, line up a couple shots. And again, he's not flying so erratically, so it's a little bit easier to bring him down. That is, this is with the Disable Arcade Boost set to No. Kind of counterintuitive. So this might have the same bug that Birds of Steel had. Now we've gone back to my original game, and you can see this is the Disable Arcade Boost set to yes. Now I have tested it a bit both ways, and I have found that in either case, enemy planes do seem to fly with a little bit of a little bit of an extra kick to them, an extra juice. They seem to be able to pull maneuvers that I wouldn't expect them to be able to pull. It could be that I'm a very bad judge of what planes should be able to pull. Got a hit there. Or it could be that in this case, all AI enemies do seem to play with arcade boost, and I'd like to hear what you guys think. Maybe you'll get on and try some custom battles and let me know whether which you think is the most appropriate setting for disable arcade boost, and whether you think it should be set to no like I have there. Now here I have made a bunch of mistakes, you can see, in flying. I am, first of all, low altitude. Second of all, I'm co-alt with all the bad guys. And second of all, you can see I'm trying to, at this point, engage in a bit of a turn fight. So by rights, I should be shot down at any point. I also haven't checked my 6 in quite a long time. The AI tends, sometimes they can get on your tail, but often they will ignore you. Eventually, if they get on your tail, they are incredibly difficult to shake off your tail without some sort of rolling scissors maneuver. So here, following a plane, he cuts inside me, another plane cuts in front of me. So I've got myself into a low altitude turn fight, dogfight, when there are a lot of enemy planes flying around. And there you see I just took a few hits, and I'm paying the price for it. One of the things I've discovered is with these early war early war BF-109s, they don't take hits very well. In fact, just a few hits will bring these planes down, or at least make them very difficult to operate. And in this case, I actually have real damage settings so that it is possible for pilots to take damage. In fact, half my kills seem to come from taking out the enemy pilots. There we go. That's one kill, brought one down. I'll take that. So one plane down because of me. And I'm going to go ahead and just keep flying low, mostly to demonstrate this field. But you can see again, I really enjoy the rivers and streams there. They seem to come together from several different tributaries, making this a fantastic map. One of the things I also enjoy in maps is if I do get shot down or damaged enough to where I can't make it back to my airfield, I actually enjoy sort of the thrill, the immersive thrill of trying to be able to put my plane down in a field somewhere. And this is one of those maps that has a mix of hills and forests and grassland, so you really do have to be careful about where and how you're going to be able to put yourself down. More than once I've tried putting myself down on the shores, the banks of that river down there. So here we go, the bad guy again with the disable arcade boost set to yes. The bad guy sort of flies up and then doubles back underneath me. I kind of roll back over to see if I can't spot him, but have had very little luck. So again, I'm in a bad position, trying to chase planes, getting hit here and there. You can see the plane has taken a bit more damage. I do, in my custom sim battles, at least for now, I'm leaving on the damage indicator so that you can actually see just how much damage you've taken. I don't think it gives the planes an extra advantage over anybody else. It just allows you to visually see that there are things that are wrong with your plane. I probably would be perfectly happy turning that off if somebody really felt like it were important, but like I said, I don't think this gives you any advantage in finding planes, spotting planes, or in shooting them down, just in keeping track of your own stuff. Again, this is a plane that's going to climb really, really high, and I can use my WEP there to try to complete the loop to get over to him. And of course he's turning, and while I'm engaged in a slow dogfight, more and more planes have damaged me and hit me, so I'm continuing to take damage as I engage in a dogfight over the middle part of this field. But once again, this is a beautiful map. This is the second Battle of Hürtgen, and I probably pronounced that badly. This is a beautiful map, and I highly encourage anyone interested in custom battles or custom sim battles to get involved in this map. Lots of things to look at, lots of things to fly near, and also, in one good sense, a lot of ways to orient yourself towards the map if you are actually operating a map with yourself not labeled on the map. For now, I am flying my settings such that I can tell, it will have a little marker on my map and tell me where I am, but I have flown games where I don't do that. You have to rely on land features in order to try to orient them to the map, figure out where the heck you are. So here's a really great demonstration of bad shooting. Haven't managed to bring this guy down yet, but I am staying behind him, and somebody is definitely tearing me up from the rear, or at least from the side. Now you can hear my plane losing its energy as I try to engage in a turn fight with this guy, desperate just to get any kill whatsoever. I'll point out also, I should say that most of the planes in this game right now are, like all the planes in this game right now are all AI. I do not get very many people joining my rooms. I know that sim-style settings are not popular. Most people enjoy just sort of the quick jump-in battles that you get with arcade or realistic. So I do know that I shouldn't expect that many players to join me. Also, we should know that one of the odd things about setting up a custom sim battle is that it tells people that your settings are custom. And now there's a ton of different kinds of custom, so just the word custom on a label as to the battle type doesn't help you figure out what's going on in the battle, because some people have unlimited ammo and fuel in their custom versions. Some people will do custom where it's any plane possible is allowed. I actually try to divide my planes into allies versus axis so that I don't find myself chasing a 109. There we go, somebody's on my 6, and I'm getting more and more destroyed. In fact, I had to give up on the guy I was flying against in order to try to stay alive from this person on my 6 here. The guys on your 6, once they get there, they are very tenacious. They are difficult to shake off your tail. But you can see that the game is much more slow. I typically maybe wind up with 1 kill, maybe with 2 kills if I'm lucky in a game. But I do think the game is much more satisfying in the long run. I set my game length to about 30 minutes, so there's plenty of time for people to fly around and join. Hopefully I'll get more and more people to join as we begin to build a small community of people who are custom sim battlers. I'm also currently writing to Gaijin to see if I can ask them to add sim settings at least to the custom battles, even if it's not in online cross-play games where you can earn kills and apply those kills towards unlocking skins and trophies and things. At least it'd be nice if people could go on and see, hey, this room is set with full sim settings. Until I see you guys in the sky, cheers, take it easy, and I'll see you later.